Hello, Nancy Burt-Preece here. It is the day after Easter. It is April 6th, 2026. So today we're going to learn the stained glass technique. So if you have any contact, any questions, any interest in any of my YouTube or Facebook, please check it out. I'm excited. I'm using the Fragrant Layers stamp set. I'm not using the dies currently. And we're going to make this card. If it looks a little bit messy, it's because I've taken it off and put it back on. And I wanted you to see my first example. It's a little rough, but I learned a lot making it. So I hope to make the next one much better. We'll find out. So what do you need to make this card? This is Timid Tiger, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a Darling Duckling, 4 by 5 1/4. I have 2 pieces of basic white, 3 3/4 by 5. I have a piece of Vellum, 3 1/2 by 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So we're going to start, and I don't always do this on camera, but I am going to today because I think it's really important for you to know the whole technique on this card. So the first thing, and I always want to forget it, but I'm going to use my embossing buddy, and this comes in our pack, which is really nice. If you're going to do any kind of heat embossing, it's great to get this from Stampin' Up! Because you will use it. This is where I'm going to put the heat embossing powder. You get an embossing buddy. It just has a little bit of powder, so the areas you don't want it, the powder to stick, it won't. So first thing, use the embossing buddy. Second thing, I'm going to take my Versamark pad and I'm going to put it right on the ink pad, or on the stamp. And I get it really inked up. Then I'm going to stamp it as close to the middle as I can on camera. Really push it down. And then bring it up. I don't know if you can see that in the light, but it's a great image. And now I'm going to put this in and put a little bit of the Wow Ebony, which is the black, embossing powder on it. And don't worry if you get a lot in there, because I'll show you in a minute why it's really nice to get this package from Stampin' Up! Because it has all the tools you need for heat embossing. If I can pick it up, here we go. Just kind of tap it a little bit. If there's any little errant ones where your fingers were. See, I get it on my fingers and that's what happens. Making sure, did I get all of that off? I think I did. Here's the great thing about this, is you just put it back in. People that are coming to my class this weekend will be doing this, and I'll help, of course. But you just tip it and get it right back, and you're not losing any powder, which is really excellent. Now, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to move this because powder, this is a messy technique. For a while there, I wasn't into messy, and now lately I'm, as I've gotten older, I'm really into messy. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our embossing. This is a Stampin' Up! One. You can get them, heat guns, other places. I like the Stampin' Up! One. It has 2 levels. When I'm doing this, I'm going to emboss it. Right now, I'd say it looks flat. And what I want it to do, it takes a minute sometimes for it to heat as I want it. Can you see where that looks different than that? You want it to all look like that. So you go through, you notice I have it, I kind of put it in one section, but I don't hold it there for like an hour because you don't want to burn your vellum. Let me see, here we go. And making sure it all is embossed. It looks like I got everything. The other nice thing about this embossing tool is that it'll sit up. It has this little thing that holds it up. So after you use it, you can set it up and not worry about it falling over. I'm just going to make sure, yep, I did a good job. See, this time I used the embossing buddy. Last time I was just trying to, and I was messing around and took it off and I made a mess. But this time it came out great. Here is the stained glass technique. So I've embossed on vellum. I turn it over. I would recommend, I tried the first time using both colors. I don't think it's necessary. I would only use the dark blends. I'm using the blends to match with the colors that I chose. I'm not spending an oodle amount of time trying to color. Just kind of going around. I have a good way to put on the adhesive on the back too, which I will be showing you. So this is Timid Tiger. It is one of the in colors that came out last year. It is staying for another year. I'm going to put these in that dark color too, like little buds. So very easy coloring. I'm not working very hard. This is Darling Duckling. I'm going to do that in the metal, and you see I got a little bit of Timid Tiger there. It's okay. Really getting that. This is, remember, the back side of the piece that I embossed. And I'm just coming through. Is this the dark one? Yeah. This is Summer Splash. This one, if you like Summer Splash, get it now because it is going to be going away. And they sell out quick. The in colors tend to go first. I haven't checked today if this one's still there, but if you want it, get it now. Isn't that pretty? And it's not hard. It's a lovely technique. You can do it with any, I would say any kind of design that has a lot of detail to it. It works really well. Now, you definitely, and oh, here's a great example. You definitely need a silicone craft sheet. People that come to my class, I'm having a technique class on Saturday. I have about 6 of them. So I'll have some out for people to use. But you notice all I do is when the glue dries, I just kind of wipe it away. I love that about the silicone craft sheet. So I'm going to put that here. I'm going to get one of my white pieces out and I'm going to turn it over. And I have a little sponge dauber. I had some sponges and I kind of ran out of them. So I'll have a sponge dauber. Oh, hi, Karen. Thank you. So I will have that at a class, but you can use a sponge dauber, whatever is very easy for you. What I'm going to do is get the ink and I'm going to come around on the edges. Make sure you kind of move off of it, but you have to have enough on there to hold it on your card. That was the first thing I did wrong. I didn't put enough on. Kind of come around. And I might do a little more puddle of ink or of glue. And you notice I'm just kind of putting it all over. Put a little in the middle. When you do it this way, it won't show on the vellum. If you put it like a glob of it on, it will show. And I will let that dry, and later I'll peel that off. Now I'm going to line this up and push it down. You notice I'm spending a little time really pushing it down to make sure I'm getting that adhered. Okay, that looks much better. Now you might get a little, I call these foof-foofs, everybody laughs at makeup words, a little bit of black there. I'm really okay with that. Sometimes you do. You know, it's not a perfect... you might get a little bit of something on there, and that's okay. Next, I'm going to adhere that to my, this one you don't need to use the glue. You can just use whatever you have. I'm going to put that down. And see if you really, I might not have gotten on camera like that little area. You can see I might not have got enough glue on there. So when you're doing it for real time, make sure you put it. You can see I got it just a smidge crooked, but I'm going to go with it. And I'm going to adhere it to the front of my card. And since that's at the bottom and that's where it's kind of like moving up a little bit, that is where I'm going to pop up. I used a 1/2 inch strip, 3 1/4 by a 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to, I can put it even down farther. I can put It's Your Day. I can put it all the way to the bottom if I want. But I'm going to pop it up with the mini dimensionals. Okay, I put a few of them on there because you want it to hold, just to make sure. And of course, I can't get the last dimensional paper off. There we go. Okay, I think I'm going to put it right down to the bottom, but you can do whatever you choose. And just cover that little bit that's popping up a little. Now, on the inside... my friend Amanda saw this video and I thought it was clever. When you have 2-step stamps, what I did is I kind of lined them up and then I put them on the block, and you notice that this little line on there, that shows you that that's the top. So make sure you put that facing towards the top. I'm going to use Memento. This is also from that same stamp set, Fragrant Layers. And I thought it was just a great way, because sometimes they're hard to line up. I'm going to ink this. I've got it faced the correct way. Look at that. It's not me being amazing. It was that great tip. And I can't remember who we saw it. Amanda shared it with me. So Amanda, if you're watching this, you can share it in the comments. But isn't that a great tip to get that lined up every time? I did not put anything on the inside. I might end up putting happy birthday. I might not. Who knows what I'll put? But isn't that a fun Vellum technique card? Ooh, I'm not done yet. I almost thought I was, but I'm not. I'm going to use these in color dots are going to be going away. So I'm going to use them before they're gone. And I'm just going to put a couple of them on here. That just adds a little bit to your card. So I hope you like this technique. It is fun, it is not hard, and it's a great vellum technique. Have a great day.